Sweater's coming off. Yes. Okay, we are live, and you can turn on your microphone. And Kathy is here. Hello, Kathy. Kathy is our first viewer that's popped up. So welcome, everybody. Happy Monday, and happy Teresa. I just want to show you, Teresa, because you look so cute.
I've got my lumberjack pants on.
She's got her lumberjack pants on. Not everybody can say they have lumberjack pants. And she's got her cute Iowa t-shirt on. So that says Iowa, Santa in Santa font.
Yes. And I updated my name tag so it has a plaid on it.
Oh,
with lumberjack plaid.
You're so on the ball. Teresa, thanks for doing all that for us today. We sure love it. And it is a lumberjack plaid day.
It is.
And because that's what Teresa's doing today. She's got the lumberjack plaid.
I love a new color. I kind of go crazy every time we have a new color, and I make lots and lots of things. And then I leave it sit on my table for a while, so you will see.
You still have Mariner on your table, or did it get moved off?
I moved it off, and now
Mariner's been moved off,
yes,
but I know you're still going to use it a lot because it is a good ink.
Yeah.
Ink
but
color.
This color is going to be good for Christmas and Valentine's, so it might sit on my table for a while.
A little bit more time.
And Tim said we're not going to have another color until 2023, so who knows? You know, he's only got 2 left, so hopefully he'll spread it out a little bit and
spread the happiness spread
out.
The color. We hope so, Tim.
So you might be seeing a lot of the lumberjack plaid in my demos, at least through February 14th.
That's right. Well, yeah. Well, and then it's good for patriotic also.
Oh yeah, 4th of July.
Yep.
But I want a new color before then.
Well, I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
I'm sure we will. Well, we've got Diane. Looks like she's in Branson. So hi, Diane. I hope you're having a great time in Branson. And Mary's here from Surprise.
Ooh,
Wouldn't it be fun to say that you lived in Surprise?
Yeah.
I think that'd be so cool. And everyone, just so you know, we are still back in our corner here. So we're back in the corner where we put
I feel like I'm in a little cubby.
Maggie last week. And so anyhow, they love your shirt, Teresa. They love it. And her lumberjack plaid pants. Well, they're not plaid, but they are lumberjack plaid colored pants. And we mentioned earlier, if you're just joining us, not everybody has red lumberjack pants they can wear to memory bound.
And luckily it was a cool morning so that I'm not sweating in my corduroys.
Yes, it's a very cool morning. And Teresa, Steve, and Linda were here over the holiday and got some stuff from the holiday open house.
Yeah.
So we love that, Steve. Glad you guys could visit. Loris, that's a neat name, is here from San Jose.
Wow.
And Jan wants to know, Teresa, what would you want the next color to be?
Gray.
A gray.
He said they're going to be neutrals. So I've been waiting for a gray for the last 4 colors probably. I love hickory smoke, but I could use a different gray. I like to have options, and there's only one gray in my mind. Pumice stone is close. Black soot is really black.
Just a little bit lighter than hickory smoke, I think would be good.
Yeah.
We have a question about getting information on our crops, and we do have a crop in February coming up, and we haven't started registration for that. We probably won't until next month. So we usually post it here on Facebook. We'll be sending out an email to people also. So that's, I guess, we don't know the price yet. We have to get some pricing done.
Ding, ding.
Oh, we need to get our bell.
I know. That's what Chris said, and I have no idea where it is.
It's back over there.
It's somewhere. Maybe she didn't hear me.
Hi, Pat.
I just remembered what I forgot to get for my display.
Oh. We need help, Katie.
Yeah.
These frames. That's what I forgot. I think there's some on the north.
I think it might be behind the table over there. All right, Katie's getting the bell, and she's getting your frames.
Yeah.
So let's see.
We're on time today.
We're on time.
So nobody's here yet?
No, we got a lot of people here.
Oh, we do? Okay.
We could probably get started.
They're probably like, 8:35. I'll jump on.
I didn't know if there's anything we needed to announce.
There's no contest going on right now, is there? No. Maggie did hers already, right? The favorite Tim Holtz thing?
Yes, she did. Maggie did that on Saturday.
Yeah.
Jan says the bell needs a bell. That's so true.
I did a fake
We're going to
bell.
find the bell for sure.
Yeah.
So anyhow, welcome Teresa. It's Monday,
Teresa.
and that's usually a Teresa day, and we love that. Beth says she's here. So, I hear
there's
it.
the bell.
Here it comes. Katie. Katie's coming in. Katie's got the
Thank
bell.
you.
Thanks,
You're welcome.
Katie.
You're
That's
welcome.
great. So I think we're ready, Teresa. I
Okay.
think we're ready for some goodness.
Excuse me.
And I just love looking at this. It all makes me happy, that color.
Yeah. I guess I'm going to take this right off of here.
I thought you'd want to show it.
Yeah.
Like,
So, I did it. This is the first time I've went on Tim's video and put mine in the same order that he did, because I, for some reason, was having a really hard time with reds and like how to position them in order, not in order, but how he puts the colors going. So I started with Barn Door and then Candied Apple, and he says Candied Apple is like a true red for him. And then it goes on to Festive Berries, and then Lumberjack Plaid. So you
star
can
of the show.
see, yeah, it's kind of,
it's a darker
I don't
red.
know. Tim calls it crimson or cherry red. I like the cherry part because to me that makes sense in my brain, but crimson is also a good way to describe it. Then we have Fired Brick, which I used to use a lot before. That was kind of my go-to red, but it might be Lumberjack now. I'm going to have to see.
Lumberjack looks a little more red.
Yeah.
A little more cherry, I should say.
Fire Brick is a little bit more, a little darker maybe, a little bit more, I don't know, I'm not getting my color words
To me,
today.
it's a little more brownish.
Yeah.
But
And then we have Aged Mahogany, and I do use Aged Mahogany a lot as well, because it's like a, well, I use it for
Burgundy?
Iowa State. It's more of a burgundy, right? And there's nothing really close to that in my mind. So if you like a cherry red, it's a good Christmas red as well. So these are all stamped with the regular inks. I haven't done an oxide because I don't have all these colors in oxide yet. And then I do, at the store we have all the colors that I have in the store has combined in the glaze. We're missing a few, but this is the Lumberjack Plaid on a tag. And so I stamp it and I heat emboss it on top of the paper so you can see how the glaze is translucent.
it's a pretty color.
And
oh
you
my
can
gosh.
see your paper through it, and I really like that versus regular embossing powder is opaque and usually it will cover up, so it's hard to see maybe on the video, but you can still
No,
see
we
the
can
words
see
of the
words.
paper
Yes, we definitely
through
can.
there. And so I really like the glaze. It's fun to play with, and I don't have this one, but I can't remember what I think I have Barn Door. He doesn't have all the colors in the glazes, but there's enough for Roy G. Biv, and I have Roy G. Biv at home, so I have one color of each at least. I don't know if I have an orange though. Maybe I need to
work
get
on that, Teresa.
yeah, I might have to work on that. But this is in the store if you come in and want to see what it really looks like
It's nice
and
to
comparing.
see what they look like.
It is.
You know, I think I love that you do that, Teresa,
Yeah.
and thank you. And Teresa, Jackie, I wanted to give a shout out to Jackie. It's her first time she's watching
Oh, welcome,
live
Jackie.
from Quebec, Canada. That she usually watches us on the replay, so she's here live today.
Awesome.
So that's pretty special. Whoops, wait, we had another question. Can you give us idea for Thanksgiving cards? Oh, we'll have to put that on our
Oh.
list for Thanksgiving cards.
Yeah. I made a turkey card a long time ago. I
And
don't know when
Jan's
that
talking
was.
about the song Crimson and Clover. I love that song.
Oh, I do
That's going to
too.
be going through everybody's
yes,
head now.
now it's stuck in my head, definitely. Who sings that song? I don't know.
I can
Somebody
hear it
will know.
because it's kind of echoey.
Yeah.
Osher wants to know what you use for Iowa State. Did you say that you use
I use Aged Mahogany.
Aged Mahogany?
I think that's, I don't know, maybe that's not what everybody else uses, but when I make Iowa State cards, I like the deep red. It's probably not right, but
And now we're caught up. It's probably not right. You have to check.
it's right for
You
me.
know,
So
us teams and schools, they have their very specific color.
Yes.
If you're doing stuff for the school. Otherwise, if you're doing it for you, you can do whatever you
Yep,
want.
that's right. That's right.
And we also have Jennifer's here from Vancouver, Canada.
Ooh.
So, oh, Joan Jett sings it. That's right, Joan
Oh,
Jett.
yes, yes.
Thank you.
I like Joan Jett.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Susan.
I knew someone would know. Yes.
Oh, wait. Rhonda says Tommy James and the Shondells.
Oh,
I
there's
think
probably
that's-
more than one version.
I think that's the version I
yeah,
remember.
they're
From
probably
the old,
original
from the old days.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
right.
glad we got that cleared up.
Whew.
Now we can go on.
Yeah. Okay.
Where are we going to start? You got so many cool things.
Yeah. So we have all the stuff, except for we're out of the regular spray.
Spray stain.
But here's the glaze. We've got the oxide inks, the re-inkers. We've got the paint, the regular re-inker. Oops, I put this on the wrong side. And this is the oxide spray. It's got to be on the oxide side. We're out of the regular spray right now, but it's on order. It's coming. So I did use a lot of oxide in my things this time, and I did use the oxide spray. I didn't use the regular. So I use regular a lot, so I just wanted to show the oxides. And I'm building up my oxide spray collection. I only have 4. I've got like probably 20 of the regular, and so I'm like, I gotta have some oxides that I can mix together. So I got the oxide spray this time in Lumberjack.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And 2 more people piped in from Canada, Teresa.
Wow.
We need to figure out how we can ship to Canada,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Okay. Well, I was talking about the oxide spray, and
Is that how you did that?
Yep, I just sprayed.
Oh.
So it's really easy to spray wood items, and so these are just those little frames that come from Tim Holtz.
And what are they called? Vignette frames.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. I saw it on the front.
It's $11.49,
Sneak the peek.
and you actually get 4 sizes. This is the
You use the second to the smallest?
yeah, second to smallest. And you know, I just sprayed it, and then I missed a couple spots, and so I sprayed it again. And then I just took a 3x4 cut apart and just glued it on the back and put some twine and a little
Very cute.
pin
You put it on
and-
a little easel?
Yep. And it's super cute. And a lot of times the little 3x4 cut aparts will fit into even the smallest opening. You just have to find the right one. You don't see the whole thing, but I think it's cute having the little poinsettias in the corner. So that's what the oxide spray looks
Denise
like.
made a comment that the oxide spray does not have a gray lid. Isn't that funny that it doesn't? Maybe it's a financial thing for Ranger.
Yeah.
The Tim Holtz Stump and Twig is out of stock, but we expect it to be here this week. We had a question on that.
All right.
And then we have another question. Oh, let me see the back of that again. Somebody said you covered the back with paper. Oh,
I just put the
missed
paper.
that. I missed that.
Yep. Just
Peggy
put the
likes
paper
that.
on there.
And then the other question is, what color do you use for Iowa State for the yellow? Do you know offhand?
You know, I use fossilized amber because I like the way that the aged mahogany and fossilized amber look together. So that's
for
what
Iowa
I use.
State, that's what Teresa uses.
Yeah.
Teresa's not under the weather. She's actually recovering.
I know my voice is odd today.
Once you get those colds, it's hard to get rid of the cough. Okay, that's a cute little frame.
Yep.
You could even put a little photo in there.
And I was looking for, I know Maggie probably showed it last week, but I've sprayed, I know there's a green one around here somewhere that I sprayed. And I love to spray these with my distress sprays. It's green, but I couldn't find it this morning. So, but I would maybe spray it, maybe green or black.
So we have those easels available, and they come in black or natural, and they come in a couple sizes. That's a small one.
Yep, they're $1.99.
Thank you, Teresa. And then the bigger ones might be $3.99, the 6.5 inch.
Yeah. So they're fun. All right. So we have these little craft albums or I don't know, notebook, I guess I would call it. They're $1.69, and I've done lots of things with them, and they're so much fun. And someone asked me this weekend, what do you do with that? And I'm like, well, whatever you want. I've had people in the store tell me they give them to their grandkids, put stickers or to write in. I made a little mini album with one that I showed with the Simple Stories Travel. Let's Go line. And it was super fun, just putting little 3x4 pictures in there. But so I really like the new stamp set, the bottle brush trees that Tim has, and that's $24.99.
I think most of our staff have purchased
the bottle brushes.
Purchased the bottle brushes.
There are so many cute samples out there. I think actually I'm going to make my fall card using this and stamp it in oranges and browns. Yeah, so that would be, you could do that for a Thanksgiving card.
Well, in this little booklet, these make nice gifts for teachers, neighbors, friends.
And I could have wrapped a ribbon or twine or something around it, but I did stamp this with the oxide. So the thing about the oxides is when you stamp onto dark paper, you're going to get a more true color than if you were to stamp on with the regular distress ink. So it is it reacts to the water differently than the regular ink does, the oxide does, because of that oxidation. I couldn't say it. Oxidation.
I didn't mean to leave you hanging. I was reading a message.
Stuck. So it's, excuse me. It's why it looks a little chalky on here. So actually, I spritzed it just a little bit with water, just one spritz, before I stamped it. And then I stamped it, and then I let it dry, or I heat gunned it. And I
heat gunned it?
I heat gunned it. I heated it. So it has the little base, and I actually saw somebody else do this in one of their makes, and then I just watercolored the base together to spread it out so I could stamp my sentiment there. And I thought that was a super cute idea. And then I actually sprayed it with the oxide spray. So that's where you see the splotches. And you can take you can heat it, or you can take a little bit of paper towel and dab it, and that's where it gets those kind of white splotches. So
somebody asked for the measurement on that, and did you have anything with a ruler on you, Teresa?
Nope.
We'll have somebody measure.
I know it's bigger than 3x4.
Katie, can you measure that for us?
Measure? Sure, absolutely.
Because I put 3x4 photos in there, so I think it's a perfect size.
We know it's bigger than 3x4.
Yeah, for wallets. So, all right.
And then it's funny because poor Carol, she's late because she thought something was wrong because we weren't there earlier, because we have daylight savings time here.
Yeah.
So now it's different for them because they don't have daylight savings time.
Yeah.
4.5 by 5.5.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's 4.5 by 5.5.
Okay, that sounds right.
Will that work, Teresa?
Yeah,
That'll work.
Thanks, Katie. Good job. Good job.
Well, Janet's got down 4.25 by 5.5.
Okay. Well,
so it's 4.25 or 4.5.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll fit. It's a good size.
And they make great gifts, and they're $1.69. You can't go wrong. Okay, Katie's like, I'm gonna get this right.
5.5 by 4.25.
4.25 by 5.5.
We're gonna blame
Okay.
it on daylight savings.
Daylight savings.
Yeah.
We're all adjusting.
Yes, we're all adjusting.
Yes, we
We're
are.
all going to want to go home early today, aren't we?
Yeah. 3 o'clock we'll all leave.
Okay.
Oh, we said that at the same time.
Here I love these little tags, the mixed media heavy stock tags. The reason I like them is because they're made out of that heavy material, and you get 20 for $4.99, which
that's nice.
is nice. And this is the time of year that you really want to make tags, and for your Christmas gifts, and it's the perfect size for a gift. So,
or a bottle of wine.
yes, or a bottle of wine.
whatever.
So Tim has these new stencils, and this one's called Element Stencils Christmas, and you get how many?
12.
12 different words. How about that? And of course I had to do cheer, and I think we've got the
We'll see how many times you can read. Okay, Katie. Lori, let's see, is it Lisa or Lori wants to know if you're working Wednesday?
No, I am not.
Michelle wants to know.
No, I'm not working.
Michelle, sorry, Katie's not working, but you can come in today. She's here today.
I'm here today.
Here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah. Gone tomorrow and Wednesday.
So you guys might remember the Bubbles background.
Oh, yes,
So
that was a good one.
I just thought, and it's called Bubbles, and I thought perfect for drinking wine, or not all wine has bubbles, but I used that for my background, and I just thought that was perfect. It's such a good, it looks like I smooshed
looks
it
like
almost,
you smooshed
doesn't it?
So if you don't want to smoosh or
Yeah.
you're uncomfortable with it, that's what you need.
And that's $24.99, and it actually comes with a, because the stamp is so big, it comes with a stamping plate that you could actually take out and use for other big stamps. Ooh,
Yeah, you
I might
could.
have to do that.
Oh, Teresa just figured out something.
Yeah. And then I use the mini blueprints, number 10. Is that what that's called? They don't even call it mini blueprint 10. Yeah. And it has all the little
I love the blueprint
drinks.
stamps, Teresa.
I know.
Love it, love it, love it.
They're fun. Mario's son designed them, I guess.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He did a good job.
Yeah. So this one, I have to look on the back. I just use regular
Distress.
ink. Just regular distress ink to do my stencil. And then the little Christmas, guess what
what's
I
that?
use?
Oh.
That's from Memory Bound's Merry Making stamp.
And that is our exclusive stamp that we came out with this
Yep.
year for Merry Makers, but it is available now to the general public.
And that's $14.99. There's some fun words. I love the word vibes.
And Janet designed it for us, and she had
Yep.
lots of input from the other Merry Maker instructors.
You've got some stitching. You can do 2022 on there, which is nice.
2025.
Yes. It'll stretch. And then I did stamp the Christmas in green using the archival ink, because when you stamp on top, sometimes it can fade a little bit, and so I really wanted that to pop. So
Looks good, Teresa. Everybody's loving it. People love it.
good. Okay. Here's
You
the
have so
next
many, I
tag.
don't
I
know
have
what to do
another
next.
tag. I know. So we've got these other packages of tags. These are the Dina Wakley tags, and this is the number 8.
Number 8. And this
Do I have it
one
upside
she
down?
just used was a number 5.
Yeah. And you get 50 for $12.99, or we've got the number 10.
10.
Number 10.
And we now
They're
have,
different in the
We
packages.
now have 13s too, Teresa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
We
right.
have big 13s.
But I like both sizes. I've done the big ones when I have fun big things, but I use the number 8 on this one, and those are both $12.99. And he has the other stencil that he came out with, and that's called Mini Stencil Set 54.
All the
So
mini
creative.
ones. What happens is he comes out with 3 new full-size
Yeah.
stencils, and they have names. And then he puts them all into minis, so you get a 3-pack, and they're just numbered. But these are the new Christmas ones, and they're really good.
Yeah.
Everything is good this year from Tim.
And I always seem to get the little ones because I can't decide on the big
Don't know
ones.
what you want, so you
So
get
I
'em
get
all.
all 3. Yeah. And then really nice thing about these tags is that they fit perfectly right onto the number 8 tag, which is what I did there. I just put it right on there. And then I used the snow grip paste, Snowfall grip paste on it, which has a little bit of shimmer to it. And I colored it with Lumberjack.
I hope it was Lumberjack.
The regular ink. So what I did is I just put a little bit with my spatula, my thing on my mat, and then I put some ink and I just blended it together.
It's perfect.
Yep. And so then it does take a while to dry. And then here, I use the glaze.
Oh.
And so I
okay.
just use I have one of these that I didn't use for a long time, but now I use it all the time. And it's an embossing dauber. And so you can just take your piece of paper and just put it on there and then pour your glaze on, and you have a big swatch of, like I did on here. That's how I did that too. I just took my thing
that's
and
how
I
you
just
did that.
swatched
Okay.
it. Yep. And that's $4.99, and it's nice to have on hand. It's not something I use every day, but it is good to have when I want to use the glaze. And that was the the new die, which is super cute, the Modern Festive.
That's been really popular also.
It has.
Janet has used it.
It has great greenery, and this orange, which I have not used yet, but it's just...
But you know what?
I really want to.
And
Did
she made it red and white, so it was
Oh,
more of a peppermint candy.
that's cute.
So.
And then the little pine cones, which are adorable as well. So, very cute. And the other thing that I used is the, which are fun, which I have on my name tag, are the label stickers. And you get 2 sheets of the label stickers. What did I say? Be jolly.
Be merry.
Be merry. Be merry. So there's all sorts of fun words.
That just added
on
a
there.
lot to that, Teresa.
I
That's
love
really
label
neat.
stickers. Yeah, it needed a little color. Oh, and I did spray. I used no, I didn't spray. I used just the rayon ribbon, and I dyed it. So you can either spray your ribbon if you have the spray, or you can take it and just put some ink on your splat mat, spray it with water, and just crunch your ribbon into there, and it's going to dye it. And I made this a long time ago, and then it got flattened out, and I'm not happy.
Smashed.
My bow got smashed, so I'm not happy.
Still looks good.
And then I tiny attached a little bit, because putting that sticker right on top of the
Might not
the
stick as
snowfall,
well.
it wasn't quite sticking, and so I'm like, I'm just going to staple it on there.
Teresa is our tiny attacher guru.
Yeah. So that's another fun tag.
That's really cute. That's very cute, Teresa.
All right. Ooh, this one's so
Ooh,
pretty.
This one is gorgeous.
I like this one. So this is using the Festive Collage stamp. And he did another collage one earlier in the spring, and I got that, and I really liked it. It's so easy to make a card.
I thought you had 2 stamps on there, like the postcard and then the flower, but
You
it's
see
all
here?
together.
And you could, you know, after I put it on my card, and then I'm like, oh, you could go this way, because it's actually like a postcard underneath. But I kept it that way because I wanted to have my ribbon on there. So this, and then the ribbon, I know I keep showing this ribbon's from 49 and Market, and it's $5.29.
But it's nice.
Yeah. And now I'm starting to use at first I was just using the medium size and the small size on tags, but I really like the big piece too. I used it on, I used it on two things that I made this time. And I just sew it.
Lacy Trims, and you'll find that if you go to shopping and go to 49 and Market embellishments, or it would be under ribbon. Our ribbon tab.
And it comes in cream too. So I just use the stacked decal, which I use a lot because I get tired of just plain straight edges on
and it's
there.
just a slight rough edge. It's not like
and I did ink it a little bit because it wasn't quite it was kind of boring. Yes. And I did stamp this with the oxide, and then I also, you can see, I gave it a little squirt of the spray, the oxide spray.
It's gorgeous, Teresa.
Very gorgeous. It's that was very simple, because all I did was stamp and spray and stick it down, and it turned out pretty good.
The stamp kind of does it all for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe you can't see very well, but I did add some glitter in there too. I just put a little liquid adhesive on the edges of the poinsettia, and I used my glitter duster, and I just added a little teeny bit. I could probably add a little bit more. You can see it in person better, but it just needed a little something, I thought. So
a little something, something.
A little something, something.
Oh, this is fun too.
And then I use my glitter duster again. You guys have your glitter dusters? You have to use fine glitter. We're out of the rock candy right now, but we have the Sizzix
the Sizzix
biodegradable. That'll go in there too.
They want to know if you spray first or stamp first. Like say on this card here, did you stamp it and then spray it?
I stamped and then sprayed.
Okay.
Yes. And my goal, I was trying to get, I really like the big blobs, and so you have to go kind of slow with your pump. If you go,
You might have to
then
practice.
and I usually do a practice spray, but if you just, then you're going to kind of get this over here. But I really like the big blobby sprays, so you kind of have to go slow and drip it. Or you could get your splatter brush out. I do that sometimes. I'll just take my spray and I'll stick it in.
Oh, yes,
I'll
you've
stick
done that.
my-
I think you've done
Yeah,
that.
I've
on
showed
video
that. I
before.
stick it in there and then I just splat if I want to be sure.
So Peggy says, what's the secret to getting a nice spray on your card? She gets big clumps, she says.
Oh, I like the big clumps. If you want a mist, then I would say maybe hold it up higher and do it fast. And then it's going to...
How was that again, Teresa?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
She
a good
doesn't
tip.
like the big clumps. I like the big clumps.
Well, you know
but
how sometimes...
it depends on
I've
what
had
you're doing.
I've had it happen to me where you get big clumps and it's right on your image.
Yeah. It's hard to control. You just kind of have to let go and go, okay.
That'll work.
And then sometimes you're like, oh, just one more spray. And then you're like, why did I do
should've
that?
stopped.
Yeah, you should have stopped. All right, this set is called Bold Text Christmas, and it's $34.99, and you get 9 different sentiments. And it's super fun, and he's come out with a lot of these sets. I have just one of the regular ones that has a happy birthday in it, and I will take the letters, the inside letters, and spell different things. But you can see that kind of the idea is to have a negative. He didn't make it for the letters, but you can die cut those and use those on your card as well. But what I did is I just cut.
You
I
can
should've-
also replace them with another color.
Oh yeah. So you can see I just foam dotted this on there.
It looks really neat.
And underneath I used my I just put a little matte medium on there and then sprayed my glitter duster. So I don't know if they can see the shine is just under the word magic.
I think that's what makes it cool.
Yeah. I thought that was fun. There's so many good, I was really like, I was going to do a card like this, and there's so many good words. I was struggling with what to
And
use.
I like it because it has peace on earth, so it has like
Yes.
a faith base, and it has winter wishes. So you have a winter type, and
Yes.
then joy, and so it is good.
Yep. And then the stamp that I used on that one is an old one called Holiday Things. And this is a really good one. It has a lot of good images, but there's the Santa. And I just used the regular Distress ink on this one. And then, behind, I just took my ink pad on a paper and just swiped it.
Oh.
And then I took my blending tool and I kind of filled in to make sure it was kind of even.
So that is not red cardstock.
Nope, that's
Teresa
not red
actually inked it.
cardstock.
So wow,
I
that's
inked my background there.
so if you didn't happen to have the color of paper you needed,
Right.
well, you're good because you got your ink
Yeah.
pad.
And then I sewed around the edges. And then, I really, because I wanted it popped up, I don't know if you guys have these foam 3D strips, but they're $3.29. And see how tiny they are? The strips of adhesive. So instead of using the little teeny pop dots, which I started doing, and then I was going
had a
crazy,
few.
I'm like, why don't I use the strips? And the strips I put perfectly in between so that these aren't going to fall down. And I even put one here below magic, I think, because I didn't want...
Maybe that's why it looks so amazing.
Yeah, because
it
it's
is-
really
it's
popped up.
raised and it's not flattening
Yeah,
out.
it's not laid down against the red. It's popped up. You could lay it down, but it is popped up. It's a very simple, clean, plain card. You could put shiny paper behind, too, if
Yeah,
you
you
wanted.
could
Just
do a
cut a
lot.
strip if you didn't have, or glitter paper if you didn't want to make your own. But I was going for the Lumberjack
into
Plaid
Lumberjack
matching.
Plaid
That's
today.
right. All right. Now
You made a lot, Teresa.
I did. I told you a new color is really, if you need some inspiration, you just need to get a new color. Okay, so then I used the stencil again. I was doing lots of stenciling, and I got this set out again. And you guys have heard me say the humbug one, really like, oh, I can't wait to use the humbug one. I think that's fun. So I went a little crazy and I made 3 cards with the same stencil. I'll have to bring these up here so I can reach them.
The Element Stencil Christmas.
Excuse me. So here's the first one that I did. And I had to use the Funny Farm stamp. And you know how Kelly and I like
we do like that.
the Funny Farm stamp. So I'm like, humbug. And then, of course, it's bah humbug. And then I'm like, bah humbug. Of course, a lamb.
That was so creative.
They call it a ewe, but I'm calling it a lamb. And so I just die cut. I used, I don't know what font I used.
That's very clever.
I used a font. Oh, here it is. I used the alphanumeric bold. Thank you, Katie. To just die cut. And I did the same thing here. You guys, I brought this so I could show you. I just take my ink pad and I ink it. And then if there's any little spot, like up here where it's not, I just take it, my blending tool, and I just ink it until it's the right color that I want.
That's so handy. I
And
had
then
no
I
idea
just
that
die
you
cut
just
it.
used your ink pad for that.
Yeah, sometimes I just want to be matchy-matchy. So I did the Baba Humbug, and then I used the candy canes. And we are out of that one. But it is called Crazy Things, and it's on order. This is my stamp set. So you have the candy cane, the Santa hat. You have all the holidays, basically, that you can add. And I use this all the time. It went with those crazy birds and crazy dogs. But I use this one more than the animals.
Because you can't, it's got the hats,
right.
the glasses,
the bunny
tie.
ears are awesome. So this is coming in. So if you want one, you can give us a call and we'll put you in the book. But it should be here this week. And then I just use my X-Acto knife and I just cut a little and stuck that candy cane in. I just fussy cut it. So that was my first one.
Teresa, I hate to interrupt your humbugs, but on this card, what kind of paper did you stamp on? We have a question.
This one?
Yeah.
I use the watercolor paper.
Okay, so this was done on the watercolor paper.
Because if I'm going to be spraying, I usually try and use a watercolor paper.
All right, thank you.
All right. So you guys have seen me use, where is the stamp set? Here it is.
What is that called?
Inquisitive.
Oh, Inquisitive.
Yes. And when I bought this, I wasn't so sure about it, but I have used it to make some fun cards. Yeah. And his head is the perfect size to stick really any of these. You just have to cut the hat down a little bit, but I can see me putting bunny ears on one of those.
Get ready. He's coming back for Easter.
I know. It's fun. So I started with my Inquisitive. And then, I stamped the background is the Penny Black. We sold a lot of these this weekend. And we've had this for a while. And it's just called Music Background.
Good name for it.
I know.
Name for it.
And so I just stamped that to start. And I did have to fussy cut him out. And I stamped him on the background. But then I realized I had to do it again because his hat then was showing. So I fussy cut him and stuck him down. And then there's the hat from the thing. And I just die cut again the word ba and stamped it. Oh, and there's a little teeny stencil.
What is that?
That was from, which one was it from? Oh, the stencil set.
So you just added a little...
I just added a little
there with your
thing in the
stencil.
corner because
It looks
it
like a
just
stamp.
needed something. Yeah, and you could put glitter on that or whatever, but I thought that was fun.
That's Teresa, very fun.
That music background is great. It's just good for
Do you
anything.
remember what color you stamped that with? Is it...
The background would have been with the archival, the black archival.
Okay.
And you know what? I might have stamped it off first
It looks
because
like, I thought maybe it might have been pumice stone.
Yeah, it's really light. And I probably did use the archival. And then I used the oxide. I'm looking at my notes on the back. The oxide ink on this one. This one I used the regular ink. So you can I wanted to show you guys the difference between the two inks. So you can see how the oxide is more translucent there isn't anything behind this, but it's really more translucent than the regular ink.
Teresa, I have to tell you, it took me a little bit. I got it now. But I was a little slow on that one.
On the sheet?
That's hilarious.
Bah.
Yes, it's hilarious.
Bah humbug. And then here's
we
my
go.
last one. So on this one, I actually, for my bah humbug, you know, you've got those 12 words, so there's lots of letters, so you can spell out whatever you want.
You spelled out bah
Yep.
just using other letters.
So I just masked the other letters to get the the right words. I don't know where my H is. There's my A from holiday, and then on humbug there's an H, so you can go back to that. So I just masked it and stenciled, and I didn't care if it was perfectly straight or not, but the background I'm going to show you is actually it's from last year, and it's called Shifter Multi Stripes, and this is a 3 set in the big tags, so it's kind of fun. Oh, and then I stamped the crazy thing hat. Don't get too close, Kelly, or you show my mistake.
I don't see a mistake.
Okay, good.
I like the bugs too.
Yeah, and the bugs is one weird stamp that I got entomology when it came out. I was like, I don't know. I use the background all the time, but the ladybugs are super cute. And so I was like, what kind of bug? I had to do a red bug, and of course ladybug, and so I just stamped my little ladybugs there
Really
for Bah
cute.
Humbug.
Bug.
Yep. And I had to
Very-
go a little Christmas. So
Put some Christmas on there, right?
yep,
Teresa?
that's right. That's right. So just a little non-traditional, a little fun card to send somebody for no reason at
Maybe
all.
if you have a punny friend.
Yes.
For all your
Oh,
punny
yes.
friends.
Sometimes I just like to send a card for no reason at all. Okay. So then here's another one using this stencil, and I'm going to show you in a minute how the stencil works. And then we're also out of the Bold Tidings Mini, which is from last year, which I love. Katie used on hers, but we have them coming this
They'll
week.
be here this week.
And I love his Bold Tidings. He started out making them big, and then this was like a combination of 3 sets
Yes,
that he
had
did.
3 last
So
year.
these all come in big sets too. And I really like the set. Oh, I know what I forgot. Oh no, I didn't forget it. And then I stamped it on the vintage labels.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So these are good size for cards.
Perfect for those bold
Yeah,
tidings.
that's $22.99. And then I use that ribbon again, the big ribbon.
So there's the lacy trim.
The
from
lacy
49
trim,
Market.
yeah. And then the Sweet Treats, this die with the candy cane. And this came out at Halloween a couple years ago, but I use it a lot at Halloween, and then I keep it out.
For Christmas.
And this is a die that's hard because I want to put it in a Halloween, but I want to put it in Christmas. I
don't know
usually
where to store it.
Yeah, usually I put it in Halloween and then I leave it out, and then sometimes it ends up in Christmas, and then I have to go searching for it because it has the Halloween candy, but the candy cane is fun. And I did the same thing there. I just inked my paper and then die cut it to do that.
Very cute. I like, and tell about the colors on ink.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Because that was really different.
So I'll show this. So this one I used, I'm going to get the stencil out now and show you guys. So that stencil is $15.99, and you get 3. You can see from the package.
And we haven't shown a shifter for quite a while.
No, we haven't.
So you could shift it, or you could not shift it,
Right.
really. You can do either way.
So there's the big, the middle, and the small. So this one was the small one. So I actually went sideways on it,
That's what
on
I
my
thought
card,
was really clever,
to make the
Teresa.
candy cane. This one was the medium one, and I just did it this way. Was it? Nope, it was the big
the
one.
big one.
I can't even remember what I did. This was the big one. So on this card, and have yourself a merry little Christmas, I use the oxide and the regular distress ink on it, just to kind of show you the difference. Now with the oxide, I went super light, because you can see I used oxide on this one, and see how
that's
much
quite
darker it
different,
is.
yeah.
It just depends on how many times you go over your ink. But I love a pink and red candy cane together. I think those are pretty.
That looks really neat.
Yeah, and it does put a white line in between as you shift. But that's fun. You could probably do the same thing with one ink, but I really, again, the oxide is more of a shadowy, chalky look to it, and so I like the difference between the two different kinds of inks on that card. All right, so
I love it because we haven't done a shifter for a long time, and I don't think he's come out with one for a bit.
No, I was just going to say I probably should have looked to see what other shifters that we have over there. Let's do the little one. Can you look and see if we have any other shifters, Janine?
Shifter stencils.
In the stencils? I'm trying to think of where it says it on the package. It'll say shifter at the top.
Janine's looking for some more for us so we can show you everything that we have.
So I've got my yellow tape here, and I think that that's good. You want to... So the important thing to remember when you're doing the shifter, sometimes it doesn't matter which size of the stencil you're using, but with the shifters it does. So you want to keep your Tim Holtz words on top. And so we'll and actually I'm going to tape it down a little bit too. I don't have my grit or my whatever.
Or the Wendy Vecchi Make Art Station's really handy for stenciling.
Okay. So I'm just going to put my stencil on there, and I'm just going to stick it down with some yellow tape.
Thanks, Janine.
Oh, yeah. Is that the only one we have? Okay.
Let me see. So this one is called Multi-Harlequin.
Oh, I forgot to say this was the rustic wilderness in the oxide. And we have a couple of oxides in the rustic wilderness.
And Maggie was using rustic wilderness sometime.
Yeah, so if you want the oxide, okay, so I'm going to do we can do an oxide, the Lumberjack Plaid. So the only thing you want to remember when you're using your blending tools is that you don't want to use the same pad for the oxide and the distress. You see, I have a different pad for my regular and for my distress. Sometimes I will put a little Velcro and stick it on the bottom.
That's a good idea.
Because you can go from regular to oxide, but if you go from oxide to regular, you're gonna contaminate or whatever your ink pad. You see the difference? So the ink pad on the regular is soft. I know you guys can't see it very well, but when I push down, it gives. The ink pad on the distress is more firm, and you can see that when you stamp with it or when you put your inks. But you don't want this ink, because it has pigment in it, you don't want it getting on your regular ink. All right, so I'm just going to ink.
Thank you for that tip, Teresa.
Yeah.
I think we've mentioned it, but I think sometimes you just forget about it.
Yeah, and you don't want to forget about it, because I've done it before, and then you can really see the pigment laying on top. Yeah, and it kind of messes up your ink pad. So did Janine bring over the other? Did you want to show that one? That's the other shifter that we have. Yeah, that's the one we're using today. Okay.
And Teresa, you've done samples with this one too, and it turns out really neat.
I've got a little
with the diamond pattern.
Yeah, I think that one might have come out at Halloween. Oh, and I'm going off the edge of my stencil. I don't like that. I should have masked it.
Well, we're going to get the idea.
Yeah, but do you see I went off the edge of my stencil, so I have a little bit of line there. So normally I would just stick a piece of scratch paper or something there so that I don't get the color on the edge of my card. So you can see how the
ooh, that looks neat.
How chalky it is. Now sometimes I'll use this little blender guy if I want to get it a little bit darker, because to me these
and that's the fingertip blender.
That's the fingertip blender.
They're a little firmer.
Yeah, and I can get a little bit of a darker image with it. And I like to use these with stencils a lot, but when I'm using a bigger one, I use the blending tool. So you can make the oxide a little bit deeper red. See there, you can see the difference. Maybe. I think you can.
Yeah, we can see it for sure.
All right.
Which over here, I think it's amazing how you use the different. You put a different amount
Yeah.
of ink on.
Should I do that again? Should I do red or should I do a black just to show?
Did you bring black?
Yeah, I've got black.
Let's do black for ha-has.
Okay. So I'm just going to clean this off. Just spraying it with water, using my microfiber.
And we do have microfiber towels, and they're, you think they're like a couple dollars or something?
Yeah.
They're very handy, and you'll see Teresa brings hers every time, all her demos.
All right.
Okay, this is where we got to get up close.
Yes, this is where you got to get close. So, and I should have put ink on it, but in the,
I think we can see the lines.
yeah, you can see the lines. So that is the same size as the hole in the stencil. So what you're going to do is you're going to line your color up. So here's what we did. Then we're going to shift it over, and we're going to line with the etchings in the stencil. We're going to line that up to our ink that we just inked. Now what Tim will do is he'll sometimes like put a black paint over it, and the paint will get down into the crevices.
Oh, so you can see it better.
So you can see it a little bit better. I didn't do that this time. I have done it in the past.
I do it with my some of my other layering
Yeah.
stencils, because otherwise I can't see like the numbers. They're numbered and they've got little corner marks.
Oh yeah.
Teresa, I
Guess
think
what?
you're going to need
I
some
know.
new foam.
I need some
pieces.
foam pieces.
I think this red and black's going to be fun.
And so then you just go over your stencil. I think I need to re-ink my
I think
black.
you need a re-inker also.
I know. It looks
It
a
might
little
be gray.
It looks a little sad, doesn't
So
it?
while you're inking that, I'm just going to show these again, your cards, because they are really amazing.
And you can use whatever colors you want. You know, you could even use the same color and, like I did, go darker on one and lighter on the next, or you can use the same, you know, like I said, use a regular distress ink and then use an oxide ink. Wow, my black is not working.
Do you want somebody to get you a new black, or
No, that's
we'll
okay.
go with it?
I think we'll just go with it.
Now, this little book that you made with the
Yeah.
journal book, Penny made one of those, and she took it on her vacation to Hawaii. She decorated it, and then she made notes each day.
Yeah.
It was great because it fit in her purse.
It's a great thing to have with you, just to make little notes, to write down funny things people say or that you see, or like the name
If you're
of
planning your Christmas.
the restaurant you went to, or yeah. Okay, I think that's okay.
Looks good.
It doesn't have to be super dark. My red isn't super dark.
Ooh, that looks neat.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I like it.
So it leaves a little white space in between.
They want to know if you could do a demo with the re-inking. Let's see if we have a re-inker for that.
Yeah. We probably
If we do, we'll re-ink it.
Can
Katie.
you get a black soot oxide re-inker?
To sell.
No.
If we have
Oh,
one
for
in the
you.
back,
Yes.
we need to re-ink her pad.
Or I can just, I'm going to have to
It's-
buy one. You can
they're-
just open it.
Katie's going to look for us. Katie's our handy dandy helper.
Otherwise,
Otherwise, we'll get one off the shelf.
yeah, Rhonda, can you get a black soot oxide re-inker?
This will be good because they asked if you could. Do we have one? Oh, Katie. Katie's got to look at our box.
I
We're
know,
gonna
that's
give
what
Katie
I'm
a
like.
minute.
I'll
Are
just,
the oxides in there, or just
Are
the?
the oxides separate?
They might be.
Yeah, they
I
have-
don't know.
they have a gray lid.
No, she means our backstock tub. Our
Oh.
used tub. If Katie doesn't find one, we'll just adjust that one, Teresa. So one thing about when you're re-inking,
I
you
don't
do
need
have
scissors.
to be careful that you only want to use your regular ink has, it looks like those old-fashioned vitamin bottles. It's the glass bottle with the little black squeezy. And if you're re-inking your oxide, you only want to use Distress Oxide re-inkers.
Yeah. Don't mix those either.
Don't mix them up, and make sure the color matches. Here at Memory Bound, believe it or not, we've had some of our lids put on the wrong ink pad. So I always look on the back to make sure when I'm re-inking that I've got the right ink pad. I think maybe Katie might be having some trouble finding one.
That's okay.
So I'm going to show what you used here. I hear scuffling back there.
These were the ones that we only had one of. Well, no, we have more one of that.
Well, this bubbles one, that's
Yeah.
really handy because you don't have to spray, but it looks sprayed. So
Yeah.
I think that's a really handy one for
It
people.
is, and it's nice and big, so it covers.
Or yeah, scrapbook
Or
page.
you can like use this corner right here. It's nice the way it like looks like an edge, like you did it on purpose. But
Okay, we don't have one, so we'll do this one.
I got one.
We'll have to adjust it. So, all right, Teresa, tell us about
So
this now.
with the oxides, here we'll just show since I'm shaking this one already. You can see how it separates, and that's the same with your sprays. Do you see how the pigment like settles to the bottom? So you have to shake it up. The regular re-inkers come with a black lid, like Kelly was saying, and they're taller. They have a different squeezy
like a medicine
inside.
dropper. They're
And
pretty
you
cool.
and you don't have to shake those up, but the oxide you do.
So always shake it up so you can get all that color out of the bottom.
And you want to start hearing, there's a little metal ball in there, and you want to start hearing that move around. Otherwise, it's going to be stuck at the bottom.
So if your
So you
ink
can
pad
see-
dries up, you don't, unless it's falling apart and old and ratty, you don't need a new ink
Yeah.
pad. Just get a re-inker.
So there you can see how it's settled, and there you can see how it's all mixed up, all gray. Before it was black up here and gray down at the bottom. All right.
I re-ink my vintage photo all the time.
This is the first time I've had to re-ink an oxide, so
It's a special day.
yeah. So it has a fine little, and I'm just going to squeeze that, and what I usually do, see how fast that soaked in? Just look at it soak in. Yeah, it needed to be re-inked. And I just go back and forth on my pad, and it's just going to soak in. And then what I usually do is turn it and go the other way too, just to make sure, since it's soaking in. See there, it's sitting a little bit on the top.
If it's sitting, then you know
Then you
you've
know
got
that's good. Yeah.
enough, and you just let it absorb. Don't use it right away. I
Yeah.
usually set mine aside for a bit. And Tim will take a credit card
Yeah.
or a gift card and brush it
And
across.
just brush it and work it in. I don't have
We
one
don't
of
have
those
that,
right now.
but it's going to work in on
But
its own.
yeah, and then I don't, you're not going to want to stamp with this right away
let it
because
sit.
the ink is still really up there, but you want to let it sit a little bit.
So
you
that's
can
like
see
a
it.
bonus. We weren't even planning on
Yeah,
that.
it definitely changed color that,
It
and
got a
it
little
soaked
darker.
in. It soaked in right away, so
You know
I did
it's
need
dry
that.
if it
Yeah,
immediately soaks in.
yeah. So
Well, Teresa, this has been amazing, and thank you
3
so
sizes
much.
of stencils. The shifters are
So
super
this
fun.
one was the large.
Yep.
And this is the medium, and then there's one in between.
that was a small.
Oh, the small. Okay.
This was the medium. No, that was the large.
That's the large. So
That's
the-
the large.
so
I
then
didn't
there's-
use the medium on anything.
But it would be in between
Large
those sizes.
and small. Yes. Here, we'll do this. Yeah. All right.
And I like how you can go either direction or diagonal. That's even
Yeah.
smarter.
And you know what you could do? You could maybe even make a plaid with
Oh,
it.
I bet you could.
A 4-color plaid or just a 3-color. You don't
Or
have to
one
do.
color.
Yeah, you don't have to do different
'Cause
colors.
it'll
You
be
can do the
darker
same
where they
color.
Overlap, right?
Yep.
Very neat. We'll have to try that, Teresa. I'd really
Yeah.
like to. All right, they say they love your ideas, Teresa. Everybody loves your
Good.
shirt. It's a happy Monday.
It
And
is.
if you haven't got the Lumberjack Plaid distress color, check it out. It is really a wonderful
very pretty.
color. It's probably one of the better new colors. Although I really liked Enchanted Mariner too. That
Yeah.
was I
That one
liked
was
how
very
that went
different.
blue
Yep.
or green. And we do have Lumberjack Plaid in stock. I think we're out of the spray, but
Yep.
it's coming this week. But everything else we have. And Teresa, thanks so much
You're
for
welcome.
being here today and showing us everything. And next Monday, you're bringing in a new card kit,
Yep,
right?
from Simple Stories.
The
Yep.
Simple Stories, the Simple Life card kit, which is really nice. So we'll see you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a happy day. And I have no idea what's on the schedule for tomorrow. I didn't look, but it'll be good.